Today, we'll be making a Matcha Swirl Milk Bread. First, we'll need to make a Japanese bread starter called Tangzhong. For this slurry, we'll need 250 milliliters of water and 50 grams of bread flour. Stir continuously and watch it carefully. Once the slurry starts to thicken and you can see lines like this, remove it from the heat. Pour the starter into a bowl and let it cool completely. Once cooled, we'll weigh out 120 grams and set it aside. In a large mixing bowl, pour in the bread flour, your instant yeast, your sugar, milk powder, and your Tangzhong. Crack 1 egg and pour in your milk. All the measurements will be in the description below as well. From here, give it a good stir and make sure everything is combined. Then we can add in our softened butter and again, stir to mix. At this point, you can choose to knead by hand, use a stand mixer or a bread machine. Today I'll be using the bread machine, but I've done this recipe by hand and with a stand mixer and the results were similar. If you're using a bread machine, let it knead for 15 minutes and 20 minutes using a stand mixer. If kneading by hand, knead a little longer until the dough is elastic like this. Then divide the dough into 2 equal parts using a scale. The first one will be our plain dough. Wrap it and let it rest. For the second dough, we want to add in our matcha powder. Using our stand mixer, bread machine, or by hand, knead for an additional 2 minutes until the dough is green like this. Wrap it and let both doughs rest for an hour. After an hour, both the doughs should have risen. Take out the plain dough first and roll it out into a long rectangle on a floured work surface. Do the same for the matcha dough. Then, take your matcha dough and place it on top of the plain dough. Flatten the doughs so that they stick together. Then, gently roll the doughs together into a log. Make sure to pinch the seams and the ends. In a greased bread pan, place the dough with its seam facing down. Cover the dough and let it rest for another hour. After an hour, the dough should have risen. Preheat your oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Put a layer of egg wash or milk wash and bake for 40 minutes. Cool before serving, and there you have it, your Matcha Swirl Milk Bread. Enjoy!